Welcome to the history of Minecraft, part 3, where I'll discuss versions 1.0 to 1.8. This video will be split into two parts. The first part will be about version 1.0 through version 1.4, and the second will be released on July 15th and will be about version 1.5 through version 1.8. It's time to finally release the game. On November 18th, 2011, Notch launched the game in its 1.0 release. After 916 days of development, almost 3 years of progress, the main game was done. Let's go over this first official release and what it added. Brewing stands are new and are used to brew new potions. Cauldrons can be filled up with water buckets. Dragon eggs are generated after the ender dragon is killed and can only be picked up when it falls onto a torch, and if you hit it, it teleports away. Enchantment tables are used to enchant tools, weapons and armor. The end portal is generated when all 12 end portal frames in a stronghold are filled with Eyes of Ender. Lily pads spawn in the new Swamp Biome. Mycelium spawn in the new Mushroom Island Biome. Nether bricks, nether brick fences and nether brick stairs make up the new nether fortress. A new crop is nether wart used to brew potions. Blaze powder is another ingredient used for potions and for crafting Eyes of Ender. Blaze rods are dropped by blazes and can be crafted into blaze powder. The Eye of Ender is used to activate the end portal and to find a stronghold. It's crafted from an ender pearl and blaze powder. Fermented spider eyes are also used for brewing. So are gas tiers and glass bottles. Glistering melons and magma cream are used for this too. Zombie pigmen now drop gold nuggets. 9 new music discs got added. 11. Blocks, Chirp, Far, Maul, Mellow High, Stall, Strat and Ward. Potions provide status effects after drinking them. Spider eyes are another ingredient for brewing, dropped by spiders. Splash potions are potions that you can throw on the ground. Mushrooms are passive mobs that can spawn in mushroom islands and you can milk them for mushroom stew. Chicks, calves, piglets and lambs are baby versions of their according mobs. Blazes were added as a hostile nether mob. It flies and throws fireballs at the player. Magma Cubes were another hostile nether mob. They're like slimes but don't take fall damage and are immune to fire damage. Snow golems can be created by placing 2 snow blocks vertically and a pumpkin on top. They melt in hot biomes and place snow where they walk. They also throw snowballs at enemies. Villagers spawn in villages and have the same AI as pigs. They also have different skins based upon their professions. New biomes include frozen ocean, frozen river, ice mountains, ice plains, mushroom islands, which are very rare, and the end biome. The latter is found in the new dimension, the End. With the End comes the Ender Dragon and also Endstone. The End Portal Room is a new structure added to strongholds. The Nether Fortress generates in the Nether and spawns blazes from blaze spawners. Breeding was added. When you feed 2 animals wheat, they will mate and create a baby version of themselves. Brewing was implemented with complex recipes leading to different potions. Enchanting was implemented, allowing you to give armor, tools and weapons special properties. A poem was added after entering the exit portal and the end, as well as a credit sequence. You can craft 2 items together to repair them and add up their durability. New achievements include Diamonds! We need to go deeper, Return to Sender, Into Fire, Local Brewery, The End, Enchanter, Overkill and Librarian. Hardcore mode was added. It locks the difficulty to hard and forces players to delete their worlds on death. The health bar also has a special texture. There are a ton of new video settings and splash texts. Lots of textures got changed. Milk now clears a player of all their potion effects. Status effects show up in the player's inventory of textures. And there we go. That is all the features added in 1.0. If you think this is a lot, just wait until we reach further updates like 1.16. It's only gonna get larger from here. Moving on to version 1.1. 5 snapshots lead up to the release of the next major version of the game, 1.1. It was released on January 12, 2012. Surprisingly, this version did not add any new blocks. Here are the new additions. Spawn eggs, 20 of them, allowing you to summon a mob by right-clicking them. They are exclusive to creative mode. New biomes include beaches, desert hills, extreme hills edge, forest hills, and taiga hills. A new super flat world type got added, a completely flat world composed of bedrock, dirt, and grass blocks. Villages can also generate there. The game was translated into 56 languages, which is one of this update's main features. Bows can now be enchanted, shot creepers can drop music discs, and that's already it for 1.1's important additions. As you can probably tell, this version was quite boring and not that big in general. Next up is version 1.2. This version had a lot of sub-versions, meaning there will be 1.2.1, 1.2.2, 1.2.3 and so on. Version 1.2.0 is a pre-release of the update and will not be covered here. Starting with 1.2.1, it took 8 snapshots to reach the full release. The update added the following blocks: chiseled stone bricks, redstone lamps, jungle wood along with all of its counterparts, and that's all the blocks. Disappointing, yeah I know. This will be a continuing trend until around 2013 when Microsoft bought the game. From that point, updates were less frequent and way bigger. Moving on to the other additions now. The Bottle of Enchanting, it can be used to spawn experience orbs and is only available in creative mode. Fire charges create fire like flint and steel, but they can also be shot from dispensers. Iron golems are added and spawn in villages. They attack hostile mobs and protect the villagers. You can create one yourself by placing iron blocks and a pumpkin in this pattern. Ocelots were added along with a spawn egg. You can tame one using raw fish. They scare creepers away and act similar to tamed wolves. The Jungle Biome was added. Desert wells were added as a new structure. It has no functionality. Zombie sieges can now occur at villages, where a large number of zombies might spawn. The world height limit was increased to 256 blocks, doubling the previous limit of 128. Versions 1.2.2 and 1.2.3 only fixed a few bugs that came with the last big version. Version 1.2.4 added birch, spruce, and jungle wood planks, and version 1.2.5 fixed some bugs as well as tweaking a few features. We're already on to version 1.3. This version released officially on August 1st, 2012, after 19 snapshots and one pre-release. The pre-release had the version number of 1.3.0, but the full release, which I'm covering, is 1.3.1. Here are the new additions for this version. Wood added as a 6-sided log variant, emerald ores and emerald blocks, ender chests allowing you to store items across dimensions and far distances, tripwire hooks, place some string in between them to detect when someone walks over it. All types of wooden slabs got added as well as their stair variants. Sandstone stairs are finally added. The emerald item can be used to trade with villagers. A book and quill can be used to write books up to 50 pages. Doing so produces a written book that is signed and it can be shared with other players. The golden apple has a second tier now also referred to as the God Apple. You can now generate worlds with an optional bonus chest. This chest will spawn with random loot for you to use. Desert villages and desert temples are new structures with loot to collect. Jungle pyramids also got added with traps included. Adventure mode was added, making it so the player cannot break or place blocks. The trading mechanic was added, albeit very different from the modern system added in 1.14. New commands include /seed, /default game mode, /debug, /game mode, /time, /give, /xp, /kill, and /help. The game now has a demo world. There's only one seed and you can play for 5 in-game days or 40 minutes. There's now a large biomes world type for those who really love a specific biome. Logs can now be turned in all directions. Furnaces can have wooden tools as fuel now, and when a lava bucket is used as fuel, the bucket is given back. Cauldrons now fill up when it's raining. Dispensers can now place minecarts and boats. TNT damage now varies based upon the difficulty. This is a feature that even I didn't know ever existed. And tons of texture changes and 41 bug fixes. Version 1.3.2 did not add anything and only fixed a few bugs. Minecraft version 1.4 is also known officially as the Pretty Scary Update. It added quite a few mechanics, mobs, blocks, and well-known items. The update had 15 snapshots and 2 pre-releases, which is why we will start with the official release version 1.4.2. Without further ado, here's the new additions. Command blocks, which are of course my favorite blocks. They can run editable commands when they're triggered using redstone, and their actual intended use was for adventure maps. They're only obtainable using the /give command, which is still the case today. Beacons are a new endgame block. It can be activated by building a pyramid under it, and the bigger the pyramid, the bigger the effect range and the more effects you can select. When activated, a light beam will shine from it, and it can give speed, haste, resistance, jump boost and strength effect. Anvils can be used to repair and enchant items at the cost of experience levels. You can also use it to rename any item. Flower pots are a new decorative item, allowing you to finally display plants and saplings in your home, without having to build a literal garden on the inside. Cobblestone walls are a new block and also act as a new type of block, the walls. They're like fences, but they look much different and in my opinion are way cooler. Mob heads are a thing now. They exist for wither skeletons, creepers, zombies, skeletons and players. You can also obtain a specific player's skin head by adding the skull owner NBT tag. Wooden buttons finally got added, that took way too long. Potatoes and carrots are two new crops. Potatoes can be baked to obtain baked potatoes, and you can use carrots to make a carrot on a stick, used to control pigs when riding them. You can now create pumpkin pie, it restores 4 food bars. Withers drop nether stars, used to craft a beacon. Potions of night vision and invisibility were added, allowing you to see in the dark and hide from others. New spawn eggs were added for the new mobs. The river was of course added. It's a 3-headed flying player created boss mob. You can create it using soul sand and 3 wither skeleton skulls, kind of like an iron golem. Wither skeletons got added and they spawn in nether fortresses. They are strong and give the player the wither effect when they get hit. The witch mob was added, another scary mob, hence the name of this update. It looks like a villager but has a thing on its nose and a hat. It can heal itself using potions, but it can also use those potions to harm others. Finally, bats were added. They spawn at low light levels and are useless. Item frames were added so you can now show off your rare items to flex on a friend. Witch huts were added as the only spawning locations for witches. And now onto the command changes. The /difficulty command lets you change the world difficulty from peaceful to hard. /spawn points changes any player's spawn point. /w was added as an alias for the /tell command. /weather was added, used to change the weather manually. /game rule was added, another very important command. /clear lets you clear anyone's inventory. And you can now create corner stairs. Repeaters can now be locked by powering their sides. Trapdoors can now be placed on the top half of blocks. Fire now spreads based upon the selected difficulty. You can now color the collar of a wolf. Pigs, when ridden, can go up to 5 meters a second, which is about the speed of an average cyclist. Version 1.4.3 was a pre-release for version 1.4.4, which I find weird since that version barely added any new features. It added the wait music disc, the /enchant command, and 31 bug fixes. Version 1.4.5 fixed a whopping 74 bugs, and version 1.4.6 is another bigger update. It added nether brick slabs, enchanted books, firework stars along with firework rockets, allowing you to create a cool firework show for all your friends. That is, if you have friends. The Thorns enchantment was added. It redirects a portion of the damage done to the person wearing it. And 21 bugs were fixed, and a lot of minor tweaks were made to previous editions. Version 1.4.7 fixed 17 bugs. And that is all for version 1.0 through version 1.4. As I said, on July 15th I will be covering version 1.5 through 1.8, and then after that we'll be covering every single version up to version 1.19. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.